Hello, my name is Delilah, and this is my first YouTube video, which is connected to my blog. The blog is called And So Here We Go. It's about a year old. You can find it. You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram, but I also have a website which is www.andsoherewego.com. But I wanted to talk today about why I'm starting a YouTube channel. I wanted to be able to touch people in somewhat of a closer way, and to tell you why I'm starting the YouTube channel. So the main reason is because I have a great deal of compassion for people, because people are really hurting right now. They want real answers for real problems, and they really don't have time for the fake. So I want to answer simple questions that people have, like, can you really have a relationship with God? Can only certain people hear God's voice? Can I get real answers to prayer? Because life is rough out here. And I want to talk about what's the advantage of living a Christian lifestyle? And what's all the fuss about faith and people saying that faith is a substance? What is that all about? So I do, on a personal basis, believe that the Lord has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised, and to preach the acceptable year of the Lord. So that is basically my mission. But as I said, there are a great many broken people out here. So in the future, you'll hear me talk about a series that I'm going to do called The Vibration of the Broken. So I named it that because people are walking around in their brokenness and functioning in that brokenness because they don't know how to get rid of the pain, how to resolve things that are going on in their lives, how to reach just a modicum of happiness. And so that's why I'm here, and I want to inspire people to want to know God better and to get excited about learning more about Him, because primarily God is a dad. He's a dad, and He really, really loves you. But there is another facet of God. There's many facets of God, but there's one of my favorite ones is found in the book of Isaiah, the prophet, in the 6th chapter. That first verse says, "In the year King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and His train filled the temple." I don't know if you ever saw the royal wedding of Princess Diana back in 1981. If you didn't see it, you can always look it up on YouTube. But when she got out of that horse-drawn carriage and she stepped out, and they began to pull the train of her dress out, and they were pulling and pulling and pulling, and it was like it was never going to end. I remember back in 1981, that was the longest train of a dress that I had ever seen. And as she walked down the aisle, you could see the full length of it. But in Isaiah 6:1, it says, God was seated on His throne, high and lifted up, and His train filled the entire temple. So Diana had nothing on God with that dress that she had. His train filled the temple. I mean, I don't know if there was anybody in there in the seats, but I would not volunteer to step on God's train, okay? And above this throne He was seated on stood the seraphims, and seraphim are angels. So each one had 6 wings. With 2 He covered His face, with 2 He covered His feet, and with 2 wings He did fly. This had to be something to see. And one angel cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of His glory. So have you ever been in a room And it was just, quiet, basic, nothing really exciting happening. And then in comes somebody who has this huge load of charisma, and they fill the room with their personality, and everybody gets happy, they get excited, they get involved, and it's basically just a lot of fun because that person who has all that charisma just stepped into the room. And it says that the whole earth is full of God's glory. So God's glory is somewhat similar to that person who has all that charisma. They command attention, and God commands attention just by being close to you, involved with you. Some people, sometimes they'll start to cry, or they'll get the shivers because they know that the presence of God is on the scene. And that last verse says, and the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. So as these angels are flying around the throne constantly, when they cry out, holy, 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 the doorposts start to shake, because this thing is better than any theatrical performance that you will ever see. And the house was filled with smoke. He didn't need a smoke machine. It's just something that happens. God is this God of love, but he's also the God of bling. He is very, very majestic and still loves you at the very same time. So that's just one facet of God. We'll talk about a whole lot more. And I hope that you will visit my website, www.andsoherewego.com. And I will see you on the next video. Thank you.